Hello, boys! And we're live with another edition of the MMA Analysis podcast. We got team sports going on in Orlando. Who knew? We got
No, they're not.
we got hand-to-hand combat also going on in South Florida, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. We got a full house tonight. Everywhere. We got Mr. Surging COVID cases in Nashville. We got the Sodsmen doing Sodsman things. We got the Canadians just laughing at us.
Yeah, we are.
Full house. This is a good thing. It's the middle of July. This is good.
I don't even think my arms can. No, they can't even fit on the screen anymore. Oh man, we need to go back to 4 people.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh,
There
yeah,
we
you
go.
gotta. Something else that can't fit on the screen properly is Jay's fucking hair at this point. That shit needs a wide view itself.
Don't
It's
be
got
jealous.
waves on
I'm ready.
waves.
Yeah, I'm
Brad,
ready
what
for
is-
some all right.
What is your name this week, Brad? I don't.
It's
I'm missing
Desert
something.
Moses because there's Street Jesus, but there's no way Street
Mm.
Jesus can beat a Desert Moses. I'm telling you.
Oh,
That's fair.
That's good. Deeper thought.
Mine's
Yeah.
not as clever, and Wes is. Come on.
Yeah,
we
you
know
gotta
you-
improve on that. We don't. Everyone knows. Everyone knows your
And-
name.
Gave me
and
shit,
you
so I had to change mine.
Yeah, but Sean, you failed too. The beauty of you can do the names is you pick something new every week. Just
It's
to
got to
fuck
be
us up.
relevant to what's going on.
Yeah, not a Thug Rose, which we
I
talked
get it.
about pre-show. I would say, is that the most inaccurate nickname in the history of MMA? Thug Rose.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Worst nick. Someone pre-show brought up Beeson 25-8. That made
Great
more
nickname.
sense than Thug Rose.
Yeah, but how bad is it when that nickname is so bad he changes it, but he still kind of keeps a part of it and references his shitty nickname to his new nickname?
What
Does
is
that
his
make
new
it
nickname?
worse?
Yeah, what's his new nickname?
It's
It's
just overtime.
overtime.
Oh, that's terrible.
God,
Didn't he
what
get
are we
knocked
doing?
out by recently?
He
Yep.
didn't need to go to overtime in that fight.
Yeah, against Jan. Damn, Wes
Yeah.
is drinking straight vodka out of a water bottle on a
I'm
Wednesday.
getting it. I didn't have time to make White Russians. I said, "Fuck it, just pour it in the bottle."
Claw
make-
season.
I thought you were gonna have a Malbec, Wes. I thought that,
Ew, claw
celebrate
season.
soccer on the
That's a-
soccer on
That's
the
post
tube,
fight.
little Malbec. Get the
I'm
Saturday
Well,
ranting juice.
That's
We're
it's
stacking
Saturday
up, Lance.
night.
What?
We're stacking them up.
You gonna stack
Is that what we're
claws? How come you don't have
He's
any
gonna do what he's
claws?
gotta
this week?
do.
It's tough to find them up here.
They get
Really?
so quick.
I find that
Yeah.
hard to believe.
Claws
No,
everywhere.
they
here.
sell out, and I'm in a university town too. So like, boom, claws
How
hit
many
the liquor
brands
store.
How many brands of hard seltzer, if you go to your liquor store, you think you are there? Like 12, 15 brands easy?
For
Up
us?
here,
Yeah,
probably
they're double
5.
digits.
A
We've got, like,
legitimate
double
liquor
digits
store.
there.
We got
We
a
only
whole section
in
of those.
Ontario. We've got the LCBO, which is like the Ontario liquor store.
Sounds terrible.
It is terrible.
Fair.
Ours are open till 2 a.m. on every day.
Really? You can go. You could buy liquor at 2 a.m.
You bet.
That's because Alberta's all full of drunk oil workers.
We
What
got
time do
like
they- what time do
we
they
got
close
drive-through
on-
liquor stores here that stay open until like
What
3
time?
a.m. and shit.
What time they open till in Ontario, Brad?
Like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what they are in New Jersey.
Oh,
Yeah.
Damn.
you
No,
guys don't have enough
11
alcoholics.
sometimes.
Fuck. Our liquor stores stay open as late as the bars. The bars stay open until 4 a.m. here. Liquor stores stay open just
Get it.
as late. You can, and there's a drive-through at like most of them now.
America.
And
Yep.
Corona
Go right
season's
up.
always open, baby.
Southern America.
yeah, definitely. You could bottle that shit and sell it right now. That's
Hey, he's not going to be the only one in Southern America shortly.
Well,
yeah.
Right,
Times are changing.
He's prepared.
It's
He's
almost
grown
the
up.
belly of the
things,
beast.
things are happening. We'll touch on that in detail maybe in the next
Florida
couple
man.
weeks as things finalize. But we're in
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay.
He got
Jay,
through,
You're
he
looking
got
that
through one
way.
hot. He got through one hot spot up in Jersey and NYC. He's like,
He's going-
fuck it,
now he's going to
let's
the
go
valley.
try it again.
Too easy.
Fuck it.
Too easy.
Yeah, and I also heard Mike Perry's girlfriend's breaking up with him now. So roommates, you and Mike Perry.
Also,
Ooh.
she's a woman of many talents.
I got a
She's
family,
clever
all right.
woman, too.
I don't need no roommate.
You should have a roommate if it's Mike Perry.
Like I said,
Look at the stories.
platinum status no more. Gonna have to tear everything up.
Mike Perry's fucked up and beating the shit out of Jay by night 3. Bet.
I wouldn't be able to sleep. That's the only way this works. I might have to be out all night, literally all night. I mean, at least the bars and the nightclubs they stay open late, but I'm gonna be short on sleep.
Oh, laundry day.
Yeah.
Whose laundry's done? I'm going new Sean.
It's Jay's. It's always Jay's.
Not me. It's not me.
Oh, is it you this time, Wes?
No, it's in my house.
My shit's
Oh,
downstairs.
it's fucking Jay.
We knew
not my
it was
fault.
you, Jay. Come
My
on.
fault.
So what odds do you give that Mike Perry's getting cut after this?
0 chance he gets cut.
I don't even know what happened. So
I say 80%.
He beat up
Ooh,
a 60-year-old man and then dropped like 72
That's
N bombs.
It's the N bombs that are going to get him fired. It's not the actual knocking out of the old dude.
2%,
Yes.
Jay. That's
He's
all good.
2% black. What do you know?
2%. That's right.
You went
I'd
from the
say-
streets.
I say there's about maybe because he's probably going to get some charges maybe and shit. He's not going to fight for a little bit, but there's maybe 10-15% chance he gets cut. Maybe. He ain't getting. I don't see
He
him
showed
getting
good
cut.
knockout power. When's the last time he knocked somebody out? This is
Dana's
going
gonna
back a
Dana's
couple
gonna
years.
see it and be like, get that motherfucker back in the cage as
Yeah.
soon as possible. Where'd he get that
Wow,
power
man,
from?
He looked good, but I think his girlfriend's going to break up with him now because he kind of went into her for a little bit and then the video cut off. There's no telling
We
what
don't know what
happened after the
happened. I mean,
cameras
That's
cut
true.
off.
They're probably.
There-
I'm sure somebody else.
There goes his complete corner and his
Yeah.
fucking. So,
So,
like he,
I saw some of the tweets. It was like he needs to keep his girlfriend. She's now 2-0 as his corner man.
yeah, it's his fucking corner.
Yes.
That's his first knockout in 3 years, though.
But
Good to see the
was-
powers back.
Yeah, Bose was good too. He's like, I'm glad he finally took a step up from Mickey Gall in the talent level. Like, God damn. Man.
Point.
Man, Mickey Gall, that was a sharp bet. That's what all the shitty touts.
Yeah, all the touts went Mickey Gall. That was a tough win. Mike Carey trained for 15 minutes with his girlfriend in the corner and out grappled Mickey Gall.
Yeah, he did.
He out grappled him easily.
He's part of the garage weight contingent.
Oh, we got the garage. We're gonna really test
he's
garage
coming
weight
back.
Yeah,
because
we are.
it's Thiago Santos
There's
versus Gilbert Teixeira.
This is the test, dog. Like this is
If
the
he
one.
beats Thiago, like he has a path. He has a path to this fight.
Yeah,
Sure does.
He gets murdered. He wakes
Yeah.
back up. He takes him down and lands elbows on him.
Shit,
That's always
take-
the path.
It's a takedown, almost like an herb breath takedown. He's gonna
like
be half
he's
out.
like he's like catching his shot and falling down. and grab his leg.
still grappling
And
and
he just
shit.
sees
half
the
out.
elbow.
Is this Thiago Santos' first fight since tearing every single muscle and ligament in his knees?
Yeah,
Both
Yeah,
knees.
he's in for a
Both
world of
knees.
hurt. He's in for a world of hurt. He don't even know what's
Yep.
gonna happen.
Look,
that other
no.
UFC chick that dates Thiago Santos, she's gonna dump him and
that?
go with Glover after this.
Kunitskaya.
Kunaskaya, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we talk fights
That's no
now?
shit though. This gonna
Just
test.
did. We talked about Mike Perry already.
That was a good fight.
Warm up appetizer.
Good
I just
finish.
researched the card. I know at least like 30% of these fighters. So me and Brad, we're bringing the breakdowns.
That's right. We're coming hot out the gates. Just
Hours.
warning you right now.
I've been researching this card for hours. Actually, when we first jumped on, New Sean was like, "Hey, what's the consensus?" And I go, "Oh, do I have to look at the card?"
You say
And then
this
I look
every
at-
single week like it's something different. But we know.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's odds. Okay." See, I was
You can
looking
bet
at
on
the
UFC.
odds. That's my research. I'm going in deep.
Do we have actual props for the main event now?
Masvidal knockout plus 300.
Mm.
That's not going to happen.
Not, no, not at Dimes. Other places there is.
I'm just
I mean,
looking on
what-
best fight
what's-
odds.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you even need props. Like, what's wild is Usman's getting down to below 2-1 almost in some spots,
Dude,
and that's just
It's
That's
Madness.
that Canadian book, baby.
that is
I'm not betting it.
madness to me.
I'm
That's
not gonna.
madness.
This is one of those fights I want a guy to lose so bad that I know he's going to win, but I'm just not going to bet on him because I don't want to do it. So I'm just going to root for Masvidal.
Who, Peter Yan?
That's stupid.
No, Jay,
He
not
doesn't
Peter
give a
Yan.
shit
Nobody,
about Aldo.
nobody wants Peter Yan to win, Jay. Fucking
I mean,
Tinkerbell.
I literally have 3 spots on this card where I would want to cheer for the opposite guy, but I'm literally picking and betting the other guy
I can't do it.
on 3 fights.
Oh, you're getting soft
I don't
old days, Lance.
I've always been
I'm at the
like
point
that.
where I don't even want to cheer for Masvidal
Yeah,
anymore. His fans are like, especially the
bad.
fans
They're
that have
McGregor
been
bad.
fans of his in the past year. They're just awful.
It's not.
Fucking
I'm not a Masvidal fan. That's not why. I am anti-Usman. He annoys me so much. He's the most annoying fighter on the roster. The most annoying fighter on the roster.
Jorge was awesome before he got the mainstream. It was cool to be a Jorge fan before like all of this shit.
The train's already gone.
Yeah.
It's already at the
Back when his thing was getting dropped by like Michael Chiesa and losing split decisions, that's
Yep.
when it was
When
cool to
he-
be a Masvidal fan.
When he wouldn't
Yep.
throw a punch for like 7-8 minutes at a time and
Yeah.
shit like. But now he's gonna knock out Usman, guys. Now he's knocking out Usman.
That would be something.
All right, let's get into this card.
Yeah.
All right. In Abu Dhabi, these fights aren't outside as far as I know. They're in an arena. They set up a cage outside
It's
to
a
make it look like
95-degree Fahrenheit arena.
Oh, they're outside.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna let a guy whose nickname is Jesus win in Abu Dhabi. Come on.
It's not. It's not
Come
outside. It's in the. I read a tweet that the cage that's outside is just for show. They're fighting
it is.
inside.
That's
Oh,
cool.
it is.
100%.
It's inside, but it's just like their
Oh,
air
It's
it's
an
conditioning
open.
can't keep up.
It's an open air stadium, though, isn't it?
I think so.
It's like a fake.
Why aren't they fighting on the
man-made
beach?
and shit.
Why'd they make the cage on the beach if we're not going to fight out there?
Are
What
there
is that?
Show land.
It look-
Hold on. It's not an
It
island.
looks like
It's not
it
an
looks
island.
like it.
The cage is not
Do we
outside.
know if there's going to be people there?
There's
or
there's
like
not
20 or
There's a
something.
couple. Yeah, like some VIP users.
Florida
Oh.
men.
The Sheikh's
The
got
Sultan?
the Sultan of Sweat's got to see
That's right.
what he's paying for.
Yeah.
Well,
This is how they're going to balance the books in 2020.
Fight Island's not
Yeah.
Fight Island, but the opening fight, I know Lance has something to say about it. Martin
Damn
Day
right.
taking on Davey Grant.
Damn right.
What is this? Grant's first fight since November 2019, and then
Yeah,
It's like
that's not that long.
8 months, Jay.
that's
It's
not
normal.
bad for him. That's
It was
pretty
the one.
good.
It
Pretty
was
good
the
for
two
him.
before that. He had a almost 2-year layoff from 2016. to
3 fights in
2019.
5 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
He was
I
busy.
hide my face if I lost to Damian Stasiak, too. So,
Yeah, we were there. Yeah, we remember. We
I don't-
made a lot
I
of
don't
money on
remember.
that. Yeah. Anyway,
We weren't there, but we was.
we were watching it
was
together.
watching
it. We were watching
Might
it
as well
together.
have been there. Who's going to start
Yeah.
this off with a full house? Who?
Fucking Lance seems to like
No,
this.
I
fight.
go.
Yeah.
I go last. That's the rules.
just for this one.
I mean, he
You
is
don't
he
change
is-
decide what
rules.
he's going to
He's the
say
oldest,
after everyone else says stuff.
How? Because I go last for one reason. Yeah,
it's choice.
because when I go last, I can hear what other people say,
So he's
and then I can be like, "Oh, I was wrong on that. I was wrong on that," and that way I don't look stupid. So Jay, I'm last.
What's West got then?
Yeah, let's go start with
No,
West.
you
We'll go with West and rotate in a circle.
Why y'all gotta start with me and David?
All right,
Grant?
we
We
got-
got- We got a guy on the show who's ready to make this dude the fucking consensus tonight, and we don't.
We don't know that
start
yet.
with him.
Say
The
that.
listeners don't know that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go. I mean, look, I don't think Davey Grant is like anything special. We've seen Davey Grant multiple times, but look, it's the level of competition he's fighting here. I mean, Martin Day literally got beat by lower level China fighters and shit, man. Davey Grant's tough enough to where he stays in fights and makes it tough on guys like this. And guys at this level usually gas when they fight Davey Grant, and he ends up getting some close ass decision or a late finish. And would I be shocked if that happened here? No, I think it's probably going to happen again. And I mean, at plus 150 first card of the night. Like, I mean,
Get that action in early.
my degenerate ass will probably throw $25 or something on Davey Grant. He's definitely going to be the pick here. I don't. It's dog or pass. That's for fucking sure.
12.5 units on Davey Grant. Nice.
Deshaun.
Not my package.
I don't want any part of this fight.
That's fair.
Davey Grant's 34 years old. He barely ever
Great fight.
fights. I know the other guy is not good and lost to a pretty poor fighter. But I don't want any part of Davey Grant in 2020. So I'll pick him just because he's an underdog in what I think is a fairly close fight.
Brad?
Davey Grant's fights always turn into grappling matches. Always. And he loses when the guy is a better grappler. He lost to DJ Holds It Down, Chris Holdsworth.
Oh, yeah.
He lost to Damian. He lost to Damian Stasiak, who that's a rough one. So he took a couple of years off. And he lost to Manny Bermudez.
That's a good grappler.
A very good grappler.
Yeah, exactly. So he loses to good grapplers because all of his fights turn into grappling matches. This Martin the Spartan.
Oof.
First of all, he nicknamed himself the Spartan when his name is Martin. I don't know what to do with that. But his record is terrible. Like, he beat a couple guys within the past couple of years that are like 1-4, 0-4. Like, he has fought just terrible, terrible fighters. Came to the UFC, fought a terrible Chinese fighter and lost to that guy. And I just don't see him beating a lot of guys that are UFC caliber. And as inactive as Davey Grant is, I think he is capable of fighting at the UFC level. So plus 150, plus 155 I'm seeing out there. Yeah, give me some Davey Grant, baby.
Okay. All right.
You have to go to the morgue to get fighters for this card.
Lance was talking a lot about this fight, so let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, mine is much more simplistic than the rest of the fellas here. I agree with what they said. Davey Grant's not that bad. Day is not very good. But my play here is simple. I fade every regional Hawaiian fella. So if you're Hawaiian and you fight at the regional level and you move up to the UFC, I bet against you for 2 to 3 fights, depending on how many fights the UFC gives you. You lose those fights and then you go back to the regional circuit. It's every Hawaiian guy. It's weird. Yeah. Regional Hawaiian fade. It's
also
pretty solid.
Hawaii to Abu Dhabi. It's a big flight. It's a lot of adjustment period. That's like
a lot of airplane food,
right?
Yeah, and you got to wear the mask.
Much easier to go England to Abu Dhabi.
Yes, this is true. So yeah, I like Grant here. I think he's the better grappler. I know he's 34, but he's not worn down. And this dude also, the Martin Day guy, he has a bunch of upside down triangles tattooed on his chest.
He's fucking Nazi, dude. Take him
out.
Fuck him. Take him out, bro. Take him out.
All the anti-Semitic behavior going on right now in the world. So this is actually, we're going to kick it right off the bat. This is the Munich play of the week, meaning me and Brad, we separate from everyone else because, Jews, segregation, that whole thing.
So
this is the Munich play of the week on Davey Grant.
0-1 currently?
Right.
Yes, we're 0-1, but there was a bunch of unofficial wins before the Munich play of the week.
That's scummy.
So,
Where's your
you're
record?
talking about parlays being scummy.
we're 72-2 on unofficial plays. Not posted.
Yep.
72-2. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
It's look, Davey Grant's a guy that I have zero belief in. Like Nushan, Martin Day is terrible. He doesn't even have a win in the UFC. This is such a bad fight. Without really knowing how their COVID journeys have gone, I want no part of this at all. With that said, given that no one knows anything about either guy at this point, why Martin Day is minus 170 as opposed to say like minus 130, I don't know. So
he's not even young either. He's 31.
I agree with you. So yeah,
you don't agree on me.
You're hopping on board.
Statement. I agree. He's 31.
He is 31.
I
agree that he's old. That he's not. That he's.
I agree.
He's not.
36. Yes, I agree.
I wasn't about the age. I was saying that he wasn't young.
Jay just hopped aboard the Munich train.
Hey, Martin, it's Lance over here at the MMA Analysis.
That's Lance.
Yes, Jay has confirmed your age, so you can continue forward. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You're 31, bro. You are 31.
Lance has experience driving a truck rig. It's like, women's fight, new Sean time. Carol Rosa taking on Vanessa Melo. I assume Wes has no thoughts on this one.
No.
Tell me no. New Sean,
We can go
what you're
on.
going to tell us about?
I got nothing. Don't.
You got nothing on an over.
No over, nothing. Just leave this fight alone.
Melo doesn't look horrible or anything, I guess.
She is 10-7. You mean look wise, or
I'm not talking about her record. God damn it, she's 10-7.
she lost to something called Tracy Cortez in her last?
Why are these people in the UFC? I can't figure it
Why
out.
are they on this card? Like,
Why are they?
I know everybody's getting the disease, but why the fuck are they on this card?
I'll take Carol Rosa.
Yeah,
I mean, 10-7 is not a
rightful
record.
fave.
I didn't look at the odds.
She's a rightful fave.
I did nothing. I didn't look at anything. I got nothing here.
There's nothing to talk about. Let's move on to bigger and better things. I'm not sure this is bigger and better. Ruli and Paiva, top 15 flyweight. Take on. That's a lot of ZNHs together. Zalgaz, Zhumagulov.
This is actually a good fight. I looked at this one from Sherdog. That dude just beat Bogatinov. He just beat Bogatinov last fight.
Ali B.
He's beaten both of them. He beat Ali and his brother.
I didn't know he had a brother.
Yeah.
Oh, Arthur.
I'm just assuming he's his brother.
Hey, we have some we have some breaking news from a comment from BMR. Kevin Casey is fighting on Submission Underground on Sunday.
Oh,
the king is back.
Does he have a new song?
I know. I bet he's.
I just got half a chub. If they say new song too, I'm gonna bust a nut right here.
When does Kevin Casey get his shot at the UFC again?
Did he have a second shot?
Or Sunday.
Of course he did.
So.
Because he went to Legacy and we made a shitload of money on him in the regional circuit.
That's right. I remember. Yeah.
That's
he beat Andrew Sanchez. Knocked him out, baby.
He's not in a good run right now. He hasn't won a fight in a very long time.
He's probably been focusing on his music. I mean,
six straight. Dude, this is insane. So he went.
He's getting that Ali money.
Dude, listen to his last fight. So he went no contest versus Bubba Bush, and then he won a decision, lost a and then he had another no contest versus Antonio Carlos Jr. Then he lost to Natal. Then he got a draw. Then he lost to Albi. Then he got another draw. So he has 2 draws and 2 no contests in his last.
One he should have won though. One I think he should have won, and one he should have definitely lost. I believe.
People wonder why he's the king.
Ooh, Miami just scored.
Who else can do that?
Soccer. What's
the king
the
brings the weirdness.
1-0 Miami.
Oh well, Orlando's terrible.
Oh.
Bang!
Believe me.
I got
Yeah, this is interesting fight though. You're right, Lance. It's probably going to be pretty entertaining.
It's good scrap. I want to watch this goal real quick. You guys continue.
I just saw it.
Ali has absolutely fallen off.
Typical MLS
since
goals.
he got off the EPO though. It's that's
somebody's going to be calling it one of the worst beats they've ever seen in their life, Jay. They don't know how it happened. They capped that half perfect.
I have a feeling I know who we're talking about, and you're probably
he bet pick 'em on Orlando first half. So
is it the first half or is it the second half now though?
No, just the first half.
I have Miami plus like 130.
Is this the start of the second half?
Yeah,
the game started at 8:00. I thought
Nashville forfeited.
They had to.
Oh,
Yeah,
is this that Bush League soccer that Jay always talks about?
There's a couple teams that already pulled out.
Whoa, that's your domestic league. Have some respect, Brad.
All right. Anyway, let's break down this fight. My bad.
Yeah. Can you tell us what your thoughts were other than Ali B's? This guy beat Ali B, so he's probably pretty good.
It's not my turn to break it down, Jay. I go last.
I don't think anyone else had any opinion on this.
What? This is a good fight.
Yeah,
this is a bad fight.
I like Pavia here. I think he's I mean, just the level of competition is better. I thought that He beat Kakara France, had the cut stoppage in the next fight, and then Mark De La Rosa hasn't turned out to be anything what a lot of people thought he was going to be, but it was Mark De La Rosa survives against a lot of guys, and Paiva got him out there. I think this however the fuck you want to pronounce
on, say it, Wes. I want to hear this shit.
Easy top, baby.
Zhumagulov.
It's Zalgash Zoom call.
The Zubi.
He just looks slow and plotting to me, man. I think Paiva can pick him off, dude, at distance. Like I said, the level of competition is just different. He's beaten the fucking ghost of Ali Bags and Tyson Nam and shit over there. It's just not the same level.
Tyson Nam's a good win, especially like if that's not a bad win.
It's not a bad.
It's not horrible, but that guy's he's way past even UFC play. I'm not betting Paiva though. It's still a kind of a close fight, man. I like Paiva as a pick here though, but no bet for me.
Nushan, any thoughts here?
I didn't do my due diligence on Zhumagulov.
There you go.
I'm not gonna bet on this fight. Paiva, I mean, like what said, he lost to okay guys and beat Mark De La Rosa, so that's not enough for me to blindly bet him. But I'll pick him. He's only minus 170.
I don't think he lost to France myself, but it ain't like that.
I tend to agree with you. Very melancholy breakdown from Nushan. Brad, as our
local prelim,
or I should say, even the continental expert or historian of MMA I believe Zhumagulov is from Kazakhstan. Are there any good fighters in MMA from Kazakhstan ever? I can't think of it.
There's that one fighter that
Borat.
He
Triple G.
Triple G's like second, third cousin, some shit. Now there's another dude that fought not too long ago. They just signed him a couple years ago from like M1 or something. Yeah, Ismagulov is from
Ismagulov. Well,
that's like it though. That's like the only.
Yeah, that's the only ones.
That's the only other guy.
Brad didn't know any, so
no. I kept thinking of the Mongolian dude. I forget what his name was, but what was that?
Hungarian.
But yeah, this ZZ Top guy, he's one ugly fella. I'll tell you that.
He is.
There is no way that man is 31 years old. There's no way.
I've seen some shit.
His nickname is Daco. Okay.
I almost want to bet on that.
He trains in a mine shaft if he's 31 years old. I'm telling you. Like straight fucking up.
Is that the Kazakh equivalent of a garage, though? You don't know.
Does he have the black lung?
Oh, shit.
At any rate, I know that Bagatino's fallen off a cliff since he left the UFC and stopped doing the EPO.
Correct.
So that win holds a little bit less than it would have a couple years ago. And Paiva's all right, or Paiva, or whatever, however you say his name. He's a much more well-rounded fighter in this. I think he's got a lot more athleticism, but I'm not betting this one. I'm just going to see how it plays out. This is a good sit there and drink fight.
All right. Lance, thoughts?
Ollie Bags isn't. I mean, he had won five. He had won 5 straight before this loss. Like he's not completely washed.
Against some Russian farmers and shit.
He beat Danny Martinez, Pedro Nobre. He's still around. He lost to Ollie Bags. Yeah, I think this could be an interesting fight. I'm not laying the juice on whatever the fuck his name is.
Paiva.
No one cares.
Ken Pavia.
That guy too. Yeah. But I think it's gonna be a fun fight. I just too many unknowns here to really put a bet in. Like, who knows how good this guy is coming in? He looks like he's done some okay stuff. I don't know. Sounds like a fun fight though. So I will pick Pavia.
Why is this guy dying on the field? Nobody even hit him.
He's Someone must have hit him.
That's soccer, bro.
No, nobody hit him.
Nobody hit him.
Showed
Maybe
the replay.
He's trying to bait the referee into a red card. I call
Blood
it
is a
dark
killer.
arts.
I don't think so.
Did-
They're bringing out the stretcher with the ambulance.
Did
so
he
probably
get
not.
COVID? Like on the field?
He
Instant.
like got hit in the face with a fucking
Anything goes.
instant drop. Bye-bye.
I mean, interesting about the Kazakhstan fighter. I guess we'll see how he does. Obviously, on a fairly decent run here. But I've liked what I've seen from Paiva too. He looks and has competed the part of an actual UFC fighter. Has better wins, but it should be fairly competitive. I don't think this is a blowout in any direction. I think Paiva is probably the rightful favorite based on just resume and what people know. But I think the line is probably about right given the situation. Let's move on to early prelim main fight. I guess I think this is a chance for Brad Special. Marcin Tybura taking on
Goddamn right.
Maxim Grishin. Wes, are you going to be on the Brad Special here?
No, I mean it's not a true fatties because it's 2.5. But
Are we gonna have to reverse it though, Wes?
Ooh, like we did.
Yeah, and it won in like 5 seconds from the Bozer fight.
Do you have a name for that yet? Like what the non-fatties
reverse
fatty is?
Yeah, just
Reverse
reverse
fatty?
fatties. and
Reverse
fatties.
fatty is.
Reverse.
Right. How could I forget?
I mean, I can see it. I actually lean Grishin here, dude. I think Tybura is just his last few out. He looks fucking fat and washed, man. I know Grishin's moving up from light heavyweight, but he's gonna be way faster, more length, more dynamic striker here.
It's 36.
I mean, but I mean, have you seen Tybura in his last few fights
fair.
not fighting fucking what's the dude he fought last time out Spivak? That dude is trash. That is as bad as it gets. Tybura is going to be way too slow and shit here, man. I don't think he can body Grishin up against the cage like he likes to do, guys. Here, just think him moving up from 205. He's like 6'3", long length. He's going to be fine up at 205. He's going to be the way faster guy. I like him here. I believe he was right around even money last time I looked at him. I'm going to take a small shot here. It's nothing big, but it's kind of I like him in a spot, and it's a fade on Tybura, who I think is just he's looked like shit for a couple years now, like really bad, like some kind of I don't want to say USADA caught up to him or anything, but he looks like a fucking plastic bag full of shit.
USDA,
the USADA,
piece of meat.
So just it's a small play at I believe he's minus 105 now. Just a guy that I think is going to be way more athletic and can win this in a variety of ways. So small shot there.
I don't know what's going on in the chat. New Sean.
Yeah, something. There's weird stuff. There's weird stuff happening in the chat right now with people watching live. I think there's about to be a crime.
What?
You just gotta read it.
You just gotta read it. It's
I don't
not
know.
worth it.
Are we talking about fucking Tony from 5 Dimes now? Like,
He might be.
is this the what happened to Tony going on in the chat or what?
Hey, break it up, fellas.
You're gonna have to get Mike out here to break everything
We
up.
don't need like an FBI fucking case file opened up on the MMA analysis. Randomly check our shit.
Dark web invaders are gonna be, getting in here. We get it. All right. Where were we? New Sean, you gonna break down some fat guys.
This is a shitty heavyweight
Terrible.
fight, and I
That
don't
would be a
want
good word for
any
that.
part of a side of a shitty heavyweight fight. I guess you could look like reverse fatties, but I don't really want that at all. So I will pass. I will take Grishin because Tybura did look like an absolute piece of shit against Abdurrahimov and Sakai. Spivak is terrible, so that's not impressive to not even finish a guy like that. So yeah, pick Grishin. No, not touching this fight.
What
Apparently
is
that
what
guy's
is the
really
total?
badly hurt, Lance, by the way, on the field.
He what?
Apparently he's very badly hurt.
Duh, we watched him go off on a stretcher, and you said he was faking it for a red
I'm
card.
not watching it.
Soccer fan.
I said he was faking it because he didn't get hit.
Yeah.
Over 2.5 is -140 in this one.
Oh no, that's not. It's got to be plus money on a 2.5 to be reverse fat. He's gonna
Under.
pay.
Oh yeah. I mean,
The
it's
under's
plus
plus
110,
money.
but that's not worth it.
Yeah. I haven't been watching him because I haven't seen Grishin fight in like at least 5 years. But I remember seeing him on some of those NAACP cards that they used to do in Ohio back in the day.
NAACP card.
Yeah.
I'm glad you caught on to that. It was the NAAFS. So, I had to throw a little flavor in there for Matt Grishin.
Yeah.
But this guy
I'm
used to
sure
train
he's
in Ohio. I think he used to train with like Stipe and some of those guys. I don't know where he's at this point, but he's been on a pretty decent run of late. Had some weird draws in PFL, but Tybura has been an absolute one of the most incredible disappointments since he came into the UFC.
I agree with that.
This guy was actually pretty decent on the regional scene and has just sucked balls
He
since
came to the UFC. It was like 17. It was like 15-1 or something. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and the one was like a cut stoppage or something like that. It
Right.
wasn't anything major. Like he didn't actually lose the fight, but he's been terrible, and he's just getting knocked out by anybody that has any sort of power. So I kind of expect Grishin's going to finish this one. Not sure I want to go reverse fatties, but if the line keeps creeping up there, maybe we'll toss a bit on it.
Okay. Lancelot.
Yeah. First off, prelims wise, for the first card on Fight Island,
Terrible.
F-.
Terrible.
It's so bad. I got excited talking about that flyweight fight between two guys I've never heard of. Like that's I don't like. I got so excited because I've been breaking down God knows what.
But it's the best card ever, Lance.
The main card, phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, it's great. These
All right.
prelims
Let's get to
are, whoo,
Yeah, let's
real bad.
hustle through these prelims.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
get it up.
in the giant fat guy who sucks versus the old 205 pounder.
Yeah.
That's my pick.
I'm with Lance. I don't know, don't care. Lance broke it down perfectly. Let's move on to another old guy. Is he undefeated?
Yes,
He was
40-year-old
for an
Santos.
entire decade.
That is very
For
impressive.
an entire
40 and undefeated.
decade.
What could have been with this guy?
Nothing. Because
Nothing,
if you
nothing.
thought
He beat
you'd
Kevin
actually
Lee.
If he would have moved up, like one rung on the
He
line,
would die.
he'd have started
He would
getting
die.
destroyed. Yeah, absolutely.
Feed him
I
to
mean,
Do
look at-
Bronx.
I mean, there was a time in 2015 and 2016 where he beat Tony Martin, Kevin Lee, and Adriano Martins back to back to back. That's pretty good.
That was brain fart Kevin Lee, though, too.
Yeah.
That was when
Still,
everyone was like, oh,
that's
Kevin
it.
Lee's a moron.
Lance, there's a lot of guys in MMA history that have a worse resume than that, and back to back to
No.
back.
And
That's
that
what I
was
said,
that
what could
was
have been.
that
he
was still
actually
Tony.
fought 3 times in the span of 2 years.
That's a record for him probably too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But who knows now?
40.
He's taking on something called Roman Bogotov.
You made that up.
I think I did too. I think they just wrote that name down. Wes, do you know anything about Roman Bogotov other than that he's undefeated?
Man, I've seen him fight, but I have no memory of it.
You couldn't pick him out of a lineup. Yeah, I understand
I really have no memory of it. He seems like just another fucking Caucasian guy from the fucking Balkans somewhere that fought in M1 against another Caucasian guy against Czechoslovakia.
You just
some
feel at some point they just walk down like a street and they just like are
They
you
go
two
into the
guys
pub-
of
the
age?
pub.
Sure, go.
They go into the
We'll
pub.
train you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know here, man. Like he's over there. He destroys these guys. I mean, he destroys them. He's fighting, but like, what the fuck are? I don't know, man. Santos, like we just talked, 40 years old, dude, rarely fights. He doesn't fucking lose though. I mean, doesn't he usually beat guys on? I mean, he beats these kind of guys. I guess. I don't know what this guy's gonna do if he's gonna come in like on some kind of fucking sauce and absolutely destroy Santos and break him like a brittle old 40-year-old that he is. I just don't know, man. I don't know how you could really bet against Santos, but laying minus 160 on a 40-year-old dude that never fights, I don't know, man. I guess I have to pick Santos, but I can't bet him in this spot. So absolute pass. I don't know how you bet this.
People are saying you look like a lumberjack Dan Hardy.
I mean,
with a world record neck beard too.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, look at the shoulders. Look, he looks like he carries logs for a fucking living. Like, Jesus.
So I was laughing at an all-time comment in the chat. This guy wrote, "Fuck's sake, did I miss the Melo Rosa breakdown?"
That's right. That's our boy Steve. Regular listener live show. All right, Nushan, give us some thoughts on old man Santos.
I think I've lost money on.
Think he's using Viagra already?
Pardon?
You heard me.
He's taking the gas station pills.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
taking fucking blue dick pills. He's got that hookup.
Blue emu or whatever. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've lost money betting against Santos the last 3 times. When he does fight, he's pretty good. He just never fights. But he's 40 years old and he could fall off a cliff, so I'm not betting him. The other guy, I've never seen him fight, but the guys he's fought aren't horrible. Like the guys he's beat, he's 10-0, so I don't know. Maybe he could surprise me, or Santos could just fucking crush him. I don't know.
Where did they get these guys?
Kind of how it feels, don't it? It's kind of how it feels.
Like, I haven't heard of half the people they pulled out of the gutter to fight on Fight Island.
They had to figure out who could even get to Fight Island.
Yeah. I mean,
he beat Michael Laboute last time.
Brad knows that.
He's beat like the good guys in that.
Canadian, right? Canadian, I thought. Or is he just French?
He's French.
Straight.
I thought that was one of the same.
This is the 5th fight we're covering, and I have yet to know both fellas in the fight.
Solid start.
And I already got several bets.
But hey, I'd lay money that you still do better than half the MMA touts that are.
Dude, I'm cleaning up this year. This is like my best year ever. I'm just printing money out here. I've had like 3 losing events all year.
It's not hard. That's
when someone says like you got to do tape study. I'm like, I don't even know who the dudes are fighting, let alone tape study.
Hey, when you see the bet percentages at sports books on guys like Masvidal, they're getting bet percentages like McGregor does. You're like, man, I'm gonna make money on this shit for a while. Like,
nothing's gonna change. Yeah, nothing's gonna change.
Oh, God. So I've actually seen this Bogotov guy fight. Apparently, he's not Colombian. Apparently, he's Russian. So that's a strike against him. But
still,
what a curveball!
Yeah, absolutely. He's kind of just like all over the place and just fights at an insane pace, and that is something that a 40-year-old Leonardo Santos does not want to do at all. Leonardo Santos is like, I'm going to sit here and do nothing and hope that you also do nothing, and then maybe I'm going to catch you with something at some point in the fight. And sometimes it works out, and he catches Kevin Lee, and sometimes he goes to shitty split decisions or draws with Norman Park and like these sorts of mooks. So I think that this Bogotov guy, he's a little too wild in scrambles for my liking, and I could see Santos getting like a good dominant position on him and maybe locking something up. But honestly, when you've got a guy that just throws a whole bunch of shit out there against a 40-year-old that never fights, I've got a little bit on Bogotov inside at plus 625. So
of course you do.
Of course you do. Of course Brad's going to support Colombia.
Of course you took the random dude versus the guy who is undefeated in the UFC inside the distance.
Hey, Lance, it's a new decade, baby. Leonardo Santos is very shortly not going to be undefeated this decade.
2020 is completely fucked as is. Might as well have the decades all.
Born in the 70s?
It's Masvidal season, baby. Road
Born
Jesus.
in the 70s.
Desert Moses.
Ritz Carlton Jesus. That's the new Masvidal. Marriott. Ugh. I'm Jorge Masvidal.
All right. What we got next?
Lance, what do you got?
Hold on. I forgot who we're
Lance
fighting.
doesn't
The guy with the greatest typology picture ever.
Pass. I pass. I think Santos wins because I'm just not going to pick against him until he loses. But I also always think he could lose, so I'm not going to bet it.
I think, again, Lance with a perfect breakdown. I can't pick or bet against Santos until he loses, but you think you think there's a possibility he could lose every single fight he's in. Like a real chance, but he has yet to do it.
Yeah. Not like a dart. Like he can realistically lose every fight, but he always wins. It's confusing.
He surprises me every time, but at the same time, I'm like, I see so many flaws, yet he somehow continues to win. But at some point, it's just got to be like the end of the road.
He's 40. He's
exactly.
40 years old.
And undefeated.
I'm 35. I feel old as shit.
Oh, that's what I mean. He's got more hair.
Give it 5 more years. You're gonna feel like double shit.
I don't think I'll make it that long anyway.
Yeah,
COVID.
That's what I said when I was 35. Then I got here and was like,
Oh no,
damn it.
Orlando scored. That's terrible news.
Orlando scored.
Yeah.
We got. I think we got a fight where we know both guys, Lance. I think there might be a fight here.
I don't think so.
Danny Henry taking on Mr. Finland. He's back. Mr. Amirkhani.
Like I said, the guy with the greatest typology pick ever.
Oh, is that him with the 2 girls?
It's not even close. 2, shit. 4.
Oh, I got to look.
He went fucking right.
Jay, did you
wow.
Did you even protect this?
I'm looking at it now.
Come on.
Yeah.
I had to
pick
click into the picture to actually get the full blown out.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that's understandable.
Who is this? Amirkhani?
Yeah.
Amirkhani.
All right, Sean, what you got on this fight?
Is that like shit music back in there?
He's doing a terrible job this week. Terrible
job at running the show. Wes, what do you got?
Having a good time here, guys.
I'm clearly a better host.
No, you're not. You're not
Clearly.
You're not reliable, though.
Well, when I show up, I'm Santos. I'm undefeated. I just take very long breaks. And I'm not very reliable. And at any time, I can do a really terrible job.
Well, you certainly know how to fill dead air. We'll leave it at that. All right, Wes, you're up.
Yeah, this is another fight I think's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick, and I don't know if I can bet it. Danny Henry's not great, man, but fuck, he looked okay up until getting absolutely obliterated by Dan Edge. I mean, I guess Amirkhani should win this fight. I think he's the better guy, but man, can you trust laying 2-1 on this guy? Like, he hasn't looked great lately. Looked pretty bad in his last one, but you know, Burgos is Burgos, but I don't know, man. I can't trust him. Probably should win, but no way I can lay 2-1. I don't trust Danny Henry whatsoever, though, either. So I can't say dog or pass here. I guess Amirkhani's going to be the pick. Another fight I can't bet.
A lot of people are very interested in the Mike Perry video. Nushan Muay Thai 23 is putting out a scenario in the chat asking if somehow Perry killed that old dude. I guess that's possible. I mean, we saw him go down. We don't know if he ever got up. That him and War Machine could become best friends.
I mean, our boy.
I don't think that's possible because I think War Machine is in Nevada. I
thought he killed himself.
Hey, you can be transferred.
He didn't kill himself.
War Machine's not dead.
Really?
Our boy.
Yes.
Breaking news.
I thought he found God.
He's married. No, he's married.
I thought he found God in the pen.
Yeah. Now, our boy Mr. Honky said that earlier, that how long is it before Mike Perry and fucking War Machine are fucking cellmates? Like,
we got more questions about who's going to get cut first, Deshaun Jackson or Mike Perry.
Oh, Deshaun Jackson. The Eagles owner is a Jew.
Not very bright.
We are spiteful people, if nothing else.
We don't know if Mike Perry's going to get cut immediately. He's just not going to fight for like.
Neither one of them are. Deshaun Jackson can catch 80-yard touchdown passes still.
He's
They ain't
not.
cutting him.
Deshaun Jackson's not good enough to call his Jewish owner out.
I
mean,
saw somebody say that Deshaun Jackson's anti-Semitic apologies have equaled his games played since he's rejoined the Eagles.
Yeah, he's cut.
Nice.
He's cut. Last year he played in 3 games. He had 9 catches last year. Like,
huge job he's done. Yeah,
he's
contributor.
cut. And Steven
Whereas
Jackson
he's old and
would have been cut if he was not retired.
That was
fucking is losing his shit about this, and even though he doesn't care about Henzo fucking posting.
What is happening to your fucking country, guys?
Don't let me get
Henzo's
into
not
that.
ours. He's not ours.
Fucking
Enzo's
Hawaii.
definitely an American citizen now.
Steve.
100%.
He acts like one. The fucking selective outrage of that cocksucker today is unfucking believable. You've never seen him say a word about Henzo Gracie or fucking Tim Kinney or the crazy. Henzo Gracie's gone full nut shit, dude.
He's crazy.
He is fucking crazy. And
He always was.
but Hawaii does interviews with him. And she's
I
like,
know.
"Dude,
That's the irony of everything. Right.
I mean,
He doesn't want to upset anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
Ariel Hawaii makes me want to be an anti-Semite.
Well, actually, aren't
self-loathing.
all Brad? Now let's think of our own people's true
We are.
stereotypes.
We are.
Aren't all Jews anti-Semitic?
No, you're just self-loathing. You're like,
All Jews are anti-Semitic. Everyone knows that. Self-loathing. It's true. I hate Jews.
Deplorable
Hate Jews.
behavior. Nushan, tell us about Amirkhani. Is he winning this fight? Yes or no?
Probably, but if Henry can stop the takedowns, then Amirkhani is pretty shitty on the feet. But yeah, I expect him not to be able to stop the takedown. So Amirkhani is gonna win, but I don't want to put money on him just because of how shitty he is on the feet.
Can't do it.
Bradford, what do you think?
War Machine is
I
married
think
The
to
guy
a
from Finland?
fuck.
I think Amirkhani gets some takedowns here. I think Henry's probably good enough to survive and not get subbed. So maybe decision. It's at like plus 250 last time I looked. I don't know what it's at right now. Not high enough to really entice me, like, the lock of Bogotov inside the distance. But, it's on the radar at least. But Amirkhani wins this fight.
Okay. Lance? You like the Finnish guy, right?
I like Amirkhani here, and I'm gonna say this. I think he's actually one of the more underrated fighters.
He has some tough losses.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
When he first came in, everyone overrated him. Now everyone thinks he's shit, but in reality, he's actually very good. He is a very good fighter.
Yeah,
he has strong grappling. His wrestling's okay. If you look at the Chris Fishgold fight, who's really good in the ground, like he's underrated at this point. He's facing a guy that sucks balls.
Minus 200 here, though. He's minus 200 here.
I have to get Steve on the show at some
I
point.
get what you're saying, though.
Knows what he's good at and actually does.
Yeah, he's
I get what you're
underrated. He follows his game plan. He's not a stupid fighter, but he seems like a stupid dude, but he's not a dumb fighter. He sticks to what he's supposed to. He's only lost to guys who are really, really, really good. He's lost to Burgos and Allen. He beats everyone else.
Guys, yeah.
This dude's underrated at this point, and I think this is going to be easy. I think he's going to be able to get him down easily, take him down, ride him out, maybe get a sub, maybe not. But this is
Told you, Wes. We have to get him on the show.
Oh no, our boy, yeah, we got to get Steve on the show, man.
Is he a real person? Is that just
Yeah,
Bo?
somebody's sending these messages.
No, it's
my
just
boy
Bo.
on Twitter, man. Steve,
It's got to be
Steve,
Bo.
fucking-
That
Nah,
has to be
he's-
Bo.
No, he's an English guy.
He's an English dude that's living in the U.S.
Yeah, he's an English dude that moved over here back a long time ago, man. He's cool. He's funny as fuck, man.
He's been having an existential crisis for years because he's a Brit stuck in America.
Yo,
Well, yeah. Steve, send your details to the DM the MMA Analysis Twitter handle. We'll try to get you on the show in the coming weeks.
Don, do you run the Twitter?
Nushan runs it. Yeah. We can't.
There's a couple people that run it.
Yeah, but Nushan kind of handles the correspondences and whatnot.
Even when it was just me and Ivan, I didn't run that Twitter handle.
Well,
I don't do well with
technical-
multiple things.
Ivan
your
still
technical challenge.
Ivan still has the username and
he
password.
still uses it to do our like fantasy football and all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
To
we
set
have some of the
people up.
contests that we do.
I'm
Yeah.
supposed to meet Ivan in Vegas in November. That doesn't
nice.
seem as likely.
I was supposed to go
Actually,
as well,
actually,
but-
if you look at the Vegas
Got some
numbers,
good comments tonight.
Vegas is safe. Vegas is doing way better than Nashville. Like, I'll be safer going to Vegas than staying in Nashville.
we'll see. The workers out there starting to say that it's not good and shit with like
Yeah, give it a month. Let's see what happens in a month.
Yeah, I have my flight booked and everything else. I haven't obviously flown in a while, and I'm just gonna kind of see what happens and just assume I'm not going, and then be happy if I do. But
if you
I know
get
they were doing temperature checks and masks in the casinos and shit. But one cool thing, did you see that tweet I sent today, or the DM I sent today, where Nashville is now putting in the mask mandate, and that's already done. They can put you in jail for 30 days. So I think we just put a bunch of motherfuckers in jail who aren't wearing masks, and then everyone will wear a mask. It'll be magic.
And then they'll get COVID anyway.
The idiots that are like,
The
idiots that are like, fuck it, I can't get it, I won't wear a mask. Well, y'all can go sit in a jail together and see if your fucking
See
shit's
if
true.
you're
No.
immune to it. Yeah, right.
Not scared of COVID-19? Welcome to prison. Everyone's got it.
Yeah,
Everyone-
these are the biggest some of the biggest clusters in the country. Welcome to the
I
cluster.
learned today. All right.
That's right.
Oh, imagine what they do to Jay right now. Jesus.
I had to shake my head.
War Machine wouldn't be married to some chick outside. He'd have a new wife.
Wes, don't be so jealous. You take
I
that
like
hat
it.
off.
I
Throw
like
it there.
I need to cut it. I got all kinds of hair.
You gotta get it growing in the
I'm
back.
not rocking. I'm
You gotta be a
talking
little
locks
Billy
in
Ray
the back.
Cyrus going, you know.
And then we got fucking Sean looks like the guy on that show Speeding. What was that new movie? That B movie came out. I'm telling you, Sean looks like the main star of it.
B movie.
God
God
damn it.
That's
It's like
a B movie.
it's like Speeding Plane or some dumb shit like
Money Plane. Money Plane with
the
Edge.
money plane. Yeah, it's like the guy, the
Money
main
Plane.
dude looks exactly like Sean. Brad knows
Got
what I'm
Ed.
talking about.
Are we even on the
Kelsey
main
Grammer.
card yet?
Not
No,
yet.
we're gonna
Yeah,
get
got Kelsey Grammer.
Are there motherfucking snakes on this plane?
Anyway, I'm gonna go with Amirkhani as well. I think he's gonna be able to secure the takedowns in at least 2 rounds, and he'll take 2 rounds to win the fight. I like Brad's idea of the of the decision. I think, what do you say, plus 250? It's probably pretty good.
Check is
Yeah.
plus 265.
Yeah.
He said that one's probably like some stepped on shit to where the
You guys seen this bod, by the way? I still got it.
Primo.
Yeah. All right. Eliza Dushku taking on Muslim Salikhov. That should be a striking war. Wes, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is a pretty good fight here. First off, it's hard. I think who did Brad say that? Like, it's hard seeing a guy named Muslim losing over in Abu Dhabi. So you got to take that like on top.
That was
Look,
Brad.
I saw
Who says
somebody
this?
was,
Yeah, it's not going to a decision, guys. Come on.
somebody posted a write up earlier. We was talking about it before recording that said Salikhov was going to be the superior striker in this fight.
yeah.
It gave me a chuckle. Like, look, I mean, he's got some fun striking, I'll call it that, and he hits with some power when it lands. But man, he throws a lot of shit that's not landing. And I just think our boy Dushku here, the volume is going to be so much more. His shit throws straight. He lands a lot of it. If this gets into something where he's on top on the mat, I think he's got an advantage there. He's like a dog in this spot. I mean, seriously, I like Salikhov too. He's fun, but man, he's beating Strapoli and Nordin to leave and shit. Like
Holy
Strumpoli, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, this isn't the same level of competition that our boy Dushku's been fighting for years now in the UFC. I like him quite a bit in this spot. This is one of my more favorite spots on the card. So yeah, I'm going to take some of that dog money here.
Nushan?
Yeah, Salikhov, like Wes said, he throws flashy stuff, but when he's not throwing that, he really doesn't throw that much. Eliza Dushku is definitely the more active fighter. So if this stays on the feet, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think he can do all right on the feet as long as he doesn't get caught with some spinning shit, which can happen. But I think Eliza Dushku can throw in some takedowns and get Salikhov on the ground. And once he does that, I think he can get a sub there. Eliza Dushku doesn't have great takedown percentage, but he does spam a lot. And I think against a guy that doesn't have good takedown defense and is just a striker, I think even if he doesn't get the first one or first two, I think still going for it, he'll be able to get the takedown and do some work. So I like Eliza Dushku. I got him at plus 100 for a unit and a half, and I took him by sub at plus 650 for half a unit.
All right, Brad.
Yeah, I like Eliza Dushku here in this one as well. I honestly don't understand this line. You've got one guy who's been in the UFC for a long time, fought a lot of good fighters, had pretty good success. He's lost a couple fights here and there, but he's like, what, 7-1, 8-1 in his last bunch of fights in the UFC. He's had fights where he's had big grappling advantages, and he's taken the guy to the ground and subbed him. He did that against Curtis Millender. I see no reason that he wouldn't be able to do that in this fight. This Salikhov guy, he throws spinning shit. He puts himself in weird positions because he throws spinning shit, and he almost invites himself to get taken down. And he got stopped by Alex Garcia by submission in the second round. So Alex Garcia has 15 career wins. 10 of them have been in the first round. I think one has been in the second round, Salikhov won. One has been in the third round, and he's had 3 by decision. He is not a guy that does well once he gets outside of the first round, and he subbed this guy. So I think that that Dushku takes him down at some point in this fight, and I think one takedown is all it's going to take. He's going to be able to advance position, get whatever he wants on the ground, and probably finishes with a sub. So I've got him straight here, and his line by submission was at like plus 640 or something when it opened as well. So I grabbed like $50 on that as well. So Dushku and Dushku by sub. Love it.
Dope.
Okay. Lance?
Yeah, bringing up Alex Garcia as a self-loathing Jew and someone who makes fun of himself, most wrong I've ever been about a prospect is Alex Garcia.
Yeah, you loved him.
I love that guy. He looked like he had it all, and then he lost
He
it.
looked like little Hector Lombard.
He
Looked like,
did
he
have
looked
it
like
all.
he looked like
Lance, he had it all for 5 minutes.
he looked
Yeah.
like a better, more prime fucking Hector Lombard. That's why I loved him too. Like, man.
That guy looked like he was going to be good. And when I was reading through stuff, I saw Sean Strickland, and he's lost to Usman, and he lost to who else? He lost to Salikhov. One of these guys looking at. He hasn't fought in almost 2 years. What happened to Sean Strickland? Is he dead?
He didn't fight a lot, even when he fought, didn't he?
I always felt like he was going to be really good, but then he wasn't, and he doesn't fight very often.
I remember back when
He's
Hills
20
Have
and-
Eyes Sean was on the podcast, and he tried to convince me that he wouldn't be able to beat Tom Breeze with his jab. And then he beat Tom Breeze with his jab. And that's my greatest memory of Sean Strickland.
So Sean Strickland is 20-3. He's lost to Eliza Dushku, Kamaru Usman, and Santiago Ponzinibbio. That's
Pretty
it.
good.
That's not bad.
That's a pretty good losing record,
hasn't
if you
fought in
will.
almost
He's got
2 years.
He's got to be in jail or something.
Possibly.
What
For this
happened
fight,
to-
I'm with the guys. I don't think the striking discrepancy is as big as they do. The rest of you fellas, I think it's decently even. I think Capoeira is a little bit better of a striker, but he does a lot of things well. He is a smart fighter. He takes fighters down when he needs to. He can work different things. He will spam takedowns. He will get them eventually, and I just think he has more ways to win here. I think he's faced better guys, and at plus money, this is a no-brainer to me. So I will be on him.
So in December 2018, Sean Strickland was hit by a car while he was driving his motorcycle in Los Angeles, rendering him unconscious. He suffered numerous injuries, and his knee was operated on after the accident.
Oh, he went full Frank on us, didn't he?
It's good to have closure. It's good to have closure when you have a question.
Wow.
Why hasn't he fought? He broke his leg in 17
Yeah.
places.
He went full fucking Frank. Went full Frank there.
Eliza Dushku is 8-1 his last 9 fights. He's lost once in the last 5 years. Just way more weapons than Salikhov has. Salikhov has flashy strikes. I suppose it's possible he could land a spinning back kick and knock out Dushku. It wouldn't completely surprise me.
He doesn't get caught by that shit. When he gets into the striking batters with technical guys, he catches some punches. Doesn't get caught with shit like that.
What I will say is that, and even what I thought before, and I had to check the numbers, but the reality is that Salikhov just doesn't throw. He's a low volume striker, and it's going to be a striking battle, and it's going to come down to who throws more and who lands more, and that's going to be That's going to be Dos Santos. That's just the reality of it. He's going to land like twice as many strikes.
What movie was she in where she was like banging and came on the scene?
Movie or TV show?
No, it was the cheerleading.
Bring it on.
Yeah, Bring It On. Yeah,
Damn.
That's the TV show on Fox.
That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Also, he's up to plus 115 on dimes.
That's a good price. I'm going to take him too, and that's going to be one of our consensus plays on this card. MMA Analysis.
That's the full 5 guys. The 5-star Scud Missile banger.
Yeah, it's not as good as the Munich. It's not as good as the Munich play, but
we might need
Wes, if we do go to Vegas this year, we're gonna meet up with Dan Tom this year. I already talked to him. So
yeah, we were supposed to last time, but you know how we was all kind of right. We had so many people out there last time.
I blacked out in a craps table. Things happen.
Man, yeah, that was a hell of a weekend last time.
I don't remember
last time we were there. He's a good dude.
All the Vegas trips really run together at this point because I've been going to Vegas every year since I was, I've been to Vegas like 20 times.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I've been out there like 4 or 5 times now, and the only one that seems different is the one I went out there with the wife. That's like the only one that's like a little different than the other ones. Those all kind of blend together.
Not as fun.
Mm-hmm. Not as fun.
He doesn't want to say it. He doesn't want to admit it publicly.
I didn't have nobody to play with, but I went and like gambled and got fucked up by myself.
I thought you meant with all these other guys and you took the wife with you.
Was the Las Vegas trip when we were at Paris when I hit the 4 straight hard 8s back to back to back to back 4 rolls in a row? Was that last one or 2 years ago?
I don't know.
That was the best moment of my life.
Remember, it doesn't matter.
4
but that's our
hard
consensus. 8s. That's our consensus. Let's move on to prelim main card because I want to get to the main card already. Let's see. It's Volkan. Is he training in the garage too?
He can't afford the garage.
Taking on Jiri Jiri
Naga.
Jiri Procházka. Jiri
Procházka. Wes, what are your thoughts on this light heavyweight bout?
Yeah, this fight's going to be insane for as long as it lasts. Look, Procházka's getting like he's getting too much hype here. I think. I mean, I love the guy too. I watch. I'm a Japanese MMA card watcher. I've watched him destroy cats for the past few years over there. But man, go look at the people they fed to this guy. I mean, he's a beast. He destroyed CB Dalloway.
Yeah, Brendan
Halsley, King Mo, Jake Hune. I mean, they're just feeding him body after body, and he's just destroying them, no doubt. This is different here, man. Volkan is fucking good. I still totally believe in Volkan, man. He's beat some of the best guys there, and I think they're feeding.
He beat Reyes. I don't care what they say.
I think they're feeding Yuri the wrong guy here, man. Volkan's line's still coming down. He's down to minus 145 now. Please keep that coming down for me. Bet Yuri more. Bet the monster that y'all think is going to destroy Volkan. I don't see it happening. Volkan's going to win this fight. I'm going to bet him.
Okay. New Sean.
Yeah, it's getting tempting. That line's really dipping. Volkan is just a tough dude. Like, he's never been knocked down in his UFC career. Now, obviously, this guy's kind of a first-round hero, so he will definitely have to be on his P's and Q's in the first round. But I think if he survives the first round, it's going to be all Volkan after that. I haven't bet him yet, but the pick is definitely him.
Brad?
Yeah, this is one of those perfect opportunities to look at round props. Volkan, as Wes said, he's minus 145. He's probably going to win this fight by knockout at some point. It might be in the first round, but I think that he's probably going to take a few shots from Yuri, and unlike he's actually going to be able to survive them. And then once those first 5 minutes pass, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot left in the Czechoslovakian juice bags gas tank. So I think it's going to go downhill from there. And if you look at the Volkan round 2, it's plus 550. Volkan round 3 is plus 1100.
That's what we like.
Pretty sure that one of those is going to hit. So. For me, it's just about choosing the right one, and one of those is going to end up in the prop round robin.
Lance?
Yeah, I'm with the guys here. You know, Volkan's tough. When you break this fight down, it's either going to be him getting knocked out or him surviving, and I think he's surviving. He's shown he can survive. He can take shots, and I think he's just a better fighter here. I might just lay this one. I'm going to see where it ends up if it goes down a little bit, but I think Volkan's just a better fighter. I think he's the tougher fighter, the better fighter, and I think he outlasts the barrage that comes in the first round and wins the fight. I don't know if he gets a decision or if he gets a knockout. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he just fights smart, puts him against the cage, wins some rounds. But I think he definitely wins the second and third and wins the fight.
I mean, this is an interesting fight because, I mean, there is a good amount of hype around Jiri. But this is obviously by far his toughest opponent. A guy that's actually young or younger and like in prime. So totally different experience. And one thing about Volkan is he comes out usually out of a cannon. He almost fights usually his best in the first round or two. So you like in a 3-round fight, he's a really tough fighter to beat just because of that. I don't know how one can take Jiri in this fight given the circumstances. I mean, he's beat up cans versus a guy who's been fighting top 10 light heavyweights in the world, like basically
top 5.
Well, Rakic isn't, but yeah. But I hear what you're saying. So that's tough. I'll take Volkan too. I'm a little more cautious, but I think that's the right side here for sure. Main card. Oh boy, Amanda Ribas taking on the return of Paige VanZant. Paige's first fight since January 2019, a year and a half. All right, Wes. Is the fighter going to win, or is a social media darling?
I mean,
Jay, call her what she is. She's an influencer. Please refer to her with.
I said social media star.
She's an influencer. All right.
Sorry, influencing them to do what again? Take pictures with their husband without clothes on.
No, that's the fucked up part. Who's taking the pics? Like,
dude, you could just freeze those. There's camera work now. Who knows? Who cares?
It's good to say somebody else there. Like, yeah,
another chick.
Probably not.
Well, yeah, I'll keep this short.
It's the dude she's actually having sex with.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's where it was going. Yeah, look, Ribas is gonna win this fight. I like Ribas. There's not a lot of kind of up and coming women's fighters to kind of be looking out for. I think Ribas is fun. She's a fun fighter. I think she gets it done inside myself. I think she gets Paige out of there eventually.
This one's got a feeling about this fight.
I know Sean's probably the other way. We know how he feels about these, but I think the layoff for Paige, she knows she's leaving the UFC. That's her last fight. She's done. I don't even know if she fights again. Ribas is going to fuck her up. Can she survive? Maybe. I don't think so. I think Ribas gets her out of there.
Lance, people are questioning what's going on behind you. They're saying that's a spoon collection from your nana.
They're shot glasses. When we
take take one out. At least prove it to the people.
When we go to different cities, we just get a shot glass.
I understand that, but
Steve
does not.
He said, "Is he streaming? Is he streaming from his nans?"
That's how you know he's British.
Here's a shot glass.
There you go.
This
Which
is
one's that from?
Punta Cana.
There you go.
Oh, okay. That's nice. That's not a spoon. So, Steve,
Better than
your
using a
theory is
spoon.
debunked. New Sean, do you have anything else to say on this, or you don't care?
I think it goes over 2.5.
Oh, that's what you're gonna. Okay. And what is the odds?
I got minus 135.
Okay. Minus 135 for VanZant to survive 15,
Yeah.
more than 12 and a half minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Ribas beat the shit out of Mackenzie Dern and couldn't get her out of there. She couldn't get Marcos out of there. I think she's skilled, but she's still a 115-pound woman. She's probably going to take down VanZant. She's got absolute terrible takedown defense, but
Correct.
VanZant's pretty good on the ground. I know she got caught by Watterson, but she was able to survive a really long time on the ground with Rose. So I took 2 units on over 2.5. Let's get boring and chicky.
All right.
They like Ribas and don't like VanZant. Dana's like, she just throws some pity pat on top. Call that fight, motherfuckers. Watch.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I don't think there's much of a chance for Paige here. It's going to be rough for her. She's going in against somebody that when she wins, it's because she's the better athlete of the two fighters, and she's fighting some like garbage tier UFC fighter. I think I looked back and her wins. She's got 5 wins in the UFC. The combined record of those fighters in the UFC is 10-20. So they're not good. And then anytime she's fought somebody decent, she's lost. And Ribas is definitely decent. I mean, if Mackenzie Dern isn't going to trouble you at all on the ground, Paige VanZant's not going to do shit to you on the ground. I know she got knocked out once, like 5 years ago, against some hideous punches. Like the girl that knocked her out does not know how to throw a strike, and she managed to knock her out. But she's improved quite a bit since then. So I think Ribas, like minus 900 is crazy, but it's kind of fair in this spot. And I think it's probably going to be a lot of Paige circling and trying to get away, and Ribas coming forward and hitting her, and Paige circling some more and trying to get away. And I think it ends up going to decision.
12.5 minutes, baby. Let's go.
She's down to minus 750 now.
Lance, do you got anything insightful to share with us on this topic, or is it just going to be one-way traffic?
So
Take 15 minutes out of your life and watch a Jessa Rhodes scene instead of Paige VanZant.
So Amanda Ribas is clearly better looking than Paige VanZant. Clearly.
Let me take a.
It's not even close.
I agree, actually, but that's
different world. Like Paige VanZant's supposed to be this Instagram hot. What Amanda Ribas is better looking. She's obviously better at fighting
she
as well.
Got the implants. It bumped her up a level.
It's not bad, but Ribas is tremendous. The funny thing with Paige VanZant to me is she complains about money and I don't make any money. Well, what if you only showed up to work once a year? How much money would you make if you showed up once a year, right? Let's say, an NBA basketball player plays 1 game a year, even with their, big contract. LeBron plays 1 game a she much is he making? In actual, salary. Not that much.
A lot.
Paige VanZant doesn't fight.
$1 million.
She doesn't fight. She should get paid more for Instagram. She spends 99% of her life on Instagram.
Correct.
She spends 1% of her life on fighting. Therefore, wouldn't it make sense that she makes more money on Instagram?
The irony is that
I'm not great at math.
75% of her fans are people that are into her, knew her because from watching fighting. Exactly. Yeah. So
no, Jay, they're not. People that are into her.
Dancing with the Stars losers. Those are middle-aged women. They're not.
Wait,
ooh, nice photos of you naked with your husband.
Dudes watch Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars. Then no.
Dudes watch that. Dudes watch Dancing with the Stars.
Not ones I know.
To watch it.
The thirsty ones that are on Instagram.
Not ones that are interested in seeing pictures of Paige VanZant on Instagram. Maybe pictures of other people.
That's MMA goons following Paige VanZant from their parents' basement, sitting at bro hugs, is fucking all up in that. Yeah, Ribas.
He's definitely beat it to Paige VanZant before.
Ribas wins. I think the line's still kind of ridiculous.
It's probably fair.
Know. Like, I almost feel like I want to bet Paige VanZant.
Stop.
It's a fucking 115-pound women's fight. Like, would it shock you too much if Paige just grabs a fucking arm or something weird happens? I don't know.
Yeah.
It
would. 700?
If that was going to happen, it was going to happen against Mackenzie Dern, not Paige.
I think it's. I don't know. The line's pretty wild to me.
Like,
I mean,
if you're betting Ribas, you're stupid. But if you're betting Paige, you're also stupid.
I mean, true, yes, but at the same time,
I like Ribas inside the
Ribas beats up a bunch of losers and stuff like that too. Like plus 700 in a 115-pound women's fight just seems.
This is a pretty
crazy.
simple breakdown, Lance. One fighter is a fighter. The other one wants to take a picture of herself. That fighter is also on her last UFC fight. She's just finishing out her obligation. She wants no business of this. She doesn't want to take any damage. She wants to continue doing the other stuff outside of MMA. She doesn't want to be here. And maybe she'll take the trip to Fight Island. Oh, it'd be cool to go to Abu Dhabi. Yeah, that's great and all, but she's not winning this fight. She's not a fighter. She's not trained to be a fighter. The other one is and wants to be a world champion. That's the difference.
And fought like 3 months ago.
How many
look good?
How many people in MMA have you seen that like you over time you've been able to see probably, I don't know, more than a handful of fighters who are like that person has no interest in fighting. How many times did that person actually win? 0. She's not winning.
Uriah Hall.
Cal cut a spin. Cal cut a spin.
Ask Gegard Mousasi about that shit.
Same thing.
Uriah wants to fight. He just doesn't want to hurt people.
That's like
Jay, what you're saying is I should bet Paige by TKO.
Spin kick.
You know that's not true. The price is right.
We've been talking for way too long. Let's go.
She doesn't deserve any more. Women's fight. One of the few that we can say this will. Yeah. Let's see. I like Andrade. Let's continue. Jessica Andrade versus Rose Namajunas rematch. Wes.
Yeah, we talked about Lance talked about Rose a little bit earlier. Look, I think Andrade is just a kind of a bad matchup for Namajunas. I mean, Rose has gotten better, no doubt. I mean, she had some big wins. I just don't think she does well with somebody that can rush her and get physical with her like Andrade is going to do. And man, at that number, I bet it last time. I gotta bet it again this time. I mean, if she keeps Andrade off of her and boxes her for fucking 3 rounds, and so be it. But I got to take plus 180 here. So that's what I'm doing. Dog for me.
Okay. New Sean.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Wes.
Wow.
I know Rose looked like I bet her last time. That's probably why I'm betting her.
I thought you were a friend of the Rose. I was surprised you would be
not in this
up.
matchup. Like Rose looked good in the first round, and she looked all right in the second. But I think she was gonna gas. I think trying to keep that pace and trying to stuff those takedowns. I think if she tries to fight that way, she will gas. And if she fights a little more conservative, then the first round won't be as wide. I think this is probably a good live betting opportunity because I do think Rose is probably going to win the first round, and you'll get a good number on Andrade to come back. And I think she can do it. I think she can wear out Rose, take her down. I think she's good enough not to get caught in anything. And so I took her, just her money line at plus 170 for a unit, and then I sprinkled on Andrade round 3 or a draw at plus 8,400.
Oh yeah, 3-round fight.
Okay. I think both fighters have a chance of getting a 10-8 round, so it's not a bad idea.
Brad, is that something that's up your alley? You love a big odds play.
Honestly, nothing in this fight is up my alley. I have literally zero memory of their first fight other than the slam. Like no memory at all. It was during the period where I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on, and like honestly, can you blame me with that sort of fight? And then I didn't see Andrade lose the belt to Zhang. I didn't see that fight at all. I still haven't seen it, so I can't speak to it at all. So I really don't have an opinion on this fight. I don't care. Like whatever happens. We'll see. And yeah, I'm not going to bet it. I'll leave it for people that actually know what they're talking about on this fight.
Okay. Lance, is that you? I don't think so.
No, this actually falls in the 1% of women's fights that I'm okay with. And
wow,
funny
breaking
enough,
news.
I was big on Andrade in the first fight. Obviously, she won, and I felt like I was completely wrong on that fight. And I'm actually going the other way here. I thought Rose dominated, those first couple rounds. Her striking was so much better. And Dushan, you banking on the fighter that always gasses not to gas to beat the fighter that doesn't gas is a weird strategy.
Andrade didn't gas against Gadelia.
I'm new to that kind of strategy, but Rose. I think Rose is just the better fighter, and I think if they're that was the definition of a fluke knockout, right? It was a slam knockout. And then I think Andrade, got cleaned up the last
in
fight.
The first round.
And yeah, I mean that's her game, though. That's what she does.
How many slam knockouts have you seen in women's MMA? I've seen one.
See another one on fucking Saturday.
I think you can see another one.
And if you want to bet on a slam knockout at plus 175, like that's or the person with the worst gas tank outlasting, that's fine. But I just think Rose clearly showed she was the 10 times better striker in that fight, and I bet on Andrade because I thought she was going to just rush her and catch her and knock her out. I was completely wrong in that. Rose's striking was leaps and bounds better than Andrade there, and I think we're going to see the first couple rounds just throughout 5 rounds, and I think Rose absolutely dominates her in this fight.
I actually tend to agree with Lance. I thought that Rose was a better striker in the first fight as well. And also, you got to remember, Andrade came off that complete mook loss to China Goat. How's her mindset now heading into this fight, facing another top-level fighter? Rose, I think, is going to win the volume striking battle. Andrade is so small, so it's a pretty significant reach advantage for Rose as well. She just got to avoid some sort of giant thing like the slam again. So I think the right side is Rose. Could something mooky like the slam happen again? Yeah, sure.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to say something back. For one, I think Lance, you were right the first time around. How you capped that one, it's still the same way to cap this one. I think that's her path to win. She's got to get inside on her. She's got to rough her up. Not saying a slam knockout is going to happen, but she needs to take her down. She needs to slam her a couple of times.
She couldn't though.
Rose is
slam.
If she can again this time, then she's going to need that slam knockout, which isn't likely. Rose is the better striker. If Andrade can't get inside and rough her up, she's going to get pieced up. You're right about that. I just think you capped it right the first time. Now you're switching and think it's different. That's cool.
Betting on Rose.
I was to support
it. And
I was
you're
wrong
betting
the
on
first
the person.
time.
And you're betting on the person that you don't even think likes fighting. Like you're like.
But she wants to be a farmer. That's who you're betting on.
Yeah, you're betting on somebody who wants to grow vegetables, dog.
Yeah, vegan life, yo.
Let's move on.
Yep.
Title fight city now.
Here we
Brad and I have
go.
been talking about this one for months.
Yeah.
We got the bantamweight title on the line. Empty title right now. Jose Aldo coming down from featherweight. Actually, I guess he's not. I guess he fought his last fight at featherweight, right?
Yeah, he should have got a win too.
So he's coming off a loss in quotations at bantamweight, taking on Peter Yan, the dude Peter Yan, who's looked great his last few fights. Yeah, he's undefeated in those fights. Now 6-0 in the UFC.
He's undefeated in this select portion of fights that I've chosen to decide that he's undefeated in.
Well, he's 6-0 in the UFC. Since joining the UFC, he's undefeated.
Hey, Brett, guess what?
That's not accurate.
He's also 27 years old.
Agreed.
Can't
Wes, what
confirm.
you got?
Wes, give us something and tell me what tell Brad that he's wrong. You can
No,
do that.
you're on here. Peter Yan he's that dude.
Don't need to pretend.
Look, I do like Peter Yan here, man. Look, I think people giving Aldo like 0 shot here are kind of wrong too, though, because look, Aldo didn't look bad last time against one of the 4 or 5 best guys in the division. I thought he won the fight. No problem with it going the other way. It was close, but man, I thought Aldo was going to look like just absolute shit trying to go down to 135, and he really did, man. He went 15 minutes hard. He didn't even gas as hard as he does a lot now. This being 5 rounds is just a whole nother thing with Aldo now, especially at 135. But I mean, to say Yan is just absolutely untouchable. Like the one guy he did fought that everybody thought was pretty good. I mean, Jimmy gave him problems in like both of those rounds until Yan connected late in the rounds. Like we all think Aldo is a way better striker than Jimmy Rivera. You know what I'm saying? That's why I just don't. You can't. People giving Aldo 0 shot, I think are wrong. Now, do I think Jan's going to win the fight? Yeah, I mean, Aldo's got to land something, one of those crazy body shots, and hurting good early, because Aldo's definitely going to start gassing after 12, 15, 17 minutes or so, and the pace that he's going to that Jan's going to put on him. I do, shout out to our boy Bo. I do really like the over. I think this is definitely going over 2.5 rounds. I don't see any way Peter Yan gets Aldo out of there under that. Aldo shot to win this fight, though. I think he's going to have to get him out of there within a few rounds. Can Aldo do it? Absolutely, man. People writing him completely off, I think, are crazy. We've seen Aldo pull crazy shit off, and like I said, he looked good against Moraes. So I'm picking Yan, and I'm going to have a small bet on Yan with somebody in the main everybody knows. But nothing big, more big on the over. I really like the over here, and I would not be mad to lose money on my Yan bet. Wouldn't be mad at all.
All right. Nushan, do a little bit of a shorter breakdown, please. Thanks.
You got it. I like the over as well. I took it for 2 units at -122. I think it's kind of skyrocketed now. Aldo is still at this age, and through all the wars he's been in, he's still durable as hell. I don't think Peter Yan's going to put him out quickly. I think Peter Yan will have the speed advantage. But like Wes said, against Rivera, for long stretches of fights, he wasn't looking great. So I think Aldo does have a chance, but I think Peter Yan will be the guy to win. Aldo didn't make championship weight. It is another pound in a pandemic. That could be rough on his body. I put a half unit on Yan by unanimous decision at +450 as well. All
right, Bradford.
Jay, you're so confident in Tinkerbell here that I want to hear your breakdown first.
Nope, you're not gonna get that.
Oh, so you're not that confident in Tinkerbell?
No, I don't need to do that.
Well,
that's not how this works.
I looked up his profile and I was like, oh, he must be from like Siberia or somewhere real cold, because he walks around all fight with these earmuffs on, just trying to defend his head, because his ears must be cold. And Aldo is absolutely going to rip this dude's body apart. He's going to throw maybe like a jab cross, 1-2 upstairs, and then he is going to come downstairs with the left hook. And I don't care how tough you are. There's not a lot of dudes There weren't a lot of dudes at 145 that could take all those body shots. There's not a lot of dudes at 135 that can take all those body shots. So I would not be shocked at all to see a repeat of like the Moicano fight, of the Jeremy Stevens fight, where Aldo lands some heavy shit to the body, and we see No Mercy crumple up in his little heap and just go down. So, Aldo is one of my favorite fighters ever. I am entirely biased with this pick. But at the same time, Aldo is by far the best fighter that that Peter Yan has ever faced. 2020 Aldo is the best fighter by far that Peter Yan has ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you could watch Aldo against Moraes' performance last time and not, he's absolutely. Yeah.
So I don't think that, and he wasn't intimidated. Like, even at featherweight, Aldo would step back, look for his counters, stuff like that, use his jab. He just sort of stood there with Moraes, and he was willing to trade. He's not scared of the power that these guys have at 135. Yep. And if it gets into a fight where Aldo and Yan are in the pocket trading, Aldo's got way better head movement, way better defense. He's a faster striker. He hits harder than Yan. So I can't see how people are confident in Yan. He's a 2-1 favorite for a reason in this fight.
What's that reason, Brad? Why don't you enlighten us? Why he's the 2-1 favorite?
Why is this taking so long?
Because he's got pace and he's got volume. But when somebody stands in front of him and doesn't just back up, it's going to be a completely different story. So I think that Aldo has a legitimate shot in this fight. I think the bodywork's going to play a huge, huge role. And, I'm just going to pick Aldo. So I got Aldo hurting him to the body. I got Aldo winning this fight.
Imagine Brad Saturday night if Aldo becomes a 2-weight champ Saturday night.
All right, Brad. Brad, if Aldo wins this fight, I'll let you name my little name thing here on next week's show.
There we go.
Just next week.
I mean, it's relative.
He's a 2-1 dog. I have to at least get to name for 2 weeks. You get to name mine for 1.
Fine. How about that? Fine.
Lance, what you got?
Yeah, not as high on Aldo as Brad. Aldo has shown some flashes recently. I thought he looked good against Moraes, better than I thought he would. But, he's coming off a loss. He's 0-1 at 135, getting the title shot. He's lost 5 of his last 8 fights. Yes, versus pretty good guys, but I don't know. I think Jan's just the younger, hungrier guy. And I think, not being scared of power at 135 versus Jan, I don't know if that's a good thing. I think he should be a little bit scared of his power because I do think Jan's going to hit him, and I think it's going to be hard. And I don't know if he can take it. And who knows with the weight cut, with the travel and everything else, like that's a hard cut for Aldo. 145 was a hard cut for Aldo. And now we have with these different circumstances and, not your normal routines. There's no telling what Aldo's going to look like. And I just think Jan's the guy right now, at least in this fight. I'm actually not as high on Jan as a lot of guys. I think
Sterling's the guy.
I think Aldo just makes absolutely quick, easy work of Jan. I think Jan is pretty one-dimensional, but that one dimension should be fine here. And I think he rolls in this one.
All right, Brad.
Quickly,
there's not a lot to say here other than that it's going to come down to volume and work rate. And when Aldo's not going to be able to keep up the pace that Jan's going to be able to keep up, he's going to get pushed against the cage. This has really been where Aldo's been at his worst in his entire career, is when he faces volume strikers that continue to throw over and over and over. The Holloway fights obviously being the key body of work here. That he struggles, and I'm not going to say he crumples, but he struggles with guys that are able to throw consistent volume and pace. And that's basically Jan's better. Okay, it's also 3 years ago, and Jose Aldo is basically scar tissue at this point and is old. I'm saying it. He's old for MMA standards. Yes. For MMA standards, Jose Aldo is old.
He's been around for a while. He's definitely
He's fought forever. What's that?
Okay.
You don't
How
think
is he
so?
scarred?
Why
I
has
don't
this
know
show been on for
what
an
that-
hour and 40 minutes and we have 2 fights left and we had no recap?
Either way, Peter Yan wins the fight going away. The first, I expect a competitive first round and a half, and then Yan really takes over the fight. Period. Whether it's a late finish or it's a decision, he's going to win this fight. And then I'll pick Brad's name next week. Anyway, let's move on to, we got another title fight. Volkanovski, Australian GOAT, taking on Max Holloway, Hawaiian. Maybe GOAT, maybe not. Who knows? That's a story for another day. Well, one guy gets arrested, one guy doesn't. So, Wes, you can go. Try to keep it under like 3 minutes.
I can keep it quick. Fight.
That's the breakdown. We saw this fight.
We did. We already saw it. Why is it different?
Yeah,
we saw the fight.
Well, look, going into this one, my whole thinking was that Max is good enough and a champion that he could have made some adjustments and could have got a close decision his way this time. I really believe that, especially at a dog price. Then all that shit comes out to where he hasn't been able to train. He hasn't been with his coaches. He literally has not been in the gym at all, making a game plan to make those adjustments and to be in the shape that Volkanovski's literally. New Zealand doesn't have Corona. They got rid of it. They did all this shit right. Plus he's over there at one of the better gyms in the entire world now with some legit fucking guys, training with legit guys 24/7 because their fucking country's open. This is a bad fight for Max. Max should not have taken this fight. He should have not done this rematch. Rematches are usually bad for guys that lose anyway, but you definitely want 4 to 6 months. Yeah. Well, you want a training camp at least to where you can work on those adjustments to the guy you're going to go face again. This is bad for Max. I don't like it at all. I completely changed my mind about this, and I like Volkanovski a lot in this fight. I have him in a very big parlay with a guy in the main, and that's my biggest bet on this entire card.
That's probably a winner. New Sean. Give us some energy here. Come on.
Exactly what Wes said, except when I kind of thought that, Max could, come back and get a game plan. I actually bet him small. And then that shit came out.
Got about all that.
He couldn't train and shit like that. And I totally bought out and lost money and stuff. And now on Volkanovski. So
it changes everything, man. It changes everything.
Volkanovski is so good that you would need a perfect Holloway, I think, to beat him or make it close. And I don't think we're getting anywhere near that.
Brad?
He's got to go kick his hamsters. Yep. Tell him to speed up.
I walked too far away from the modem. But yeah, I'm just echoing everything else that Wes and Sean said on this one. I kind of thought that Max would have a chance to make some adjustments, come back after seeing everything that's going on with his training situation. Like this is not a good fight for him. I see a lot of people talking about like the UD prop. I just took Volkanovski minus 5.5 because it was around the same price. I got it at plus 155. I think he either wins a wide decision or maybe just chops Max down and gets a stoppage here.
All right.
And there goes
Lance, and we lost Brad.
Yeah, not much to add here. If Max does lose this, which I think he will, I think this is actually going to be a lot wider than the first fight. I think
you're right.
Volkanovski's been training every day with absolute killers, and Max has been playing video games. I mean, I think it's as easy as that. And when they were both in full camps and, all systems go, Volkanovski was still much better. And honestly, like, I just don't know how guys can go into a fight without having any sparring and being hit a little bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if Volkanovski does get Max out of here late, just putting on a beat down on him. And it'd be interesting to see if Max does lose this, and it is very wide. What does Max do from here? He's the oldest 28-year-old in the history of MMA, and he'll be coming off 3 or 4 losses after looking like an extremely dominating champ. So it's amazing how quickly you can you can fall even when you're young. You know, like
you remember how we talked about him just a couple years ago? How like, man, this guy's gonna be like one of the all-time fucking greats, and
We
just
said he
like
wouldn't
that.
lose in the decade. We were pretty close.
Yeah, but I mean, he felt like
quick. You made a good guy. You know, I think, and who knows if it made a difference. I think taking that Poirier fight at 155, just
bad.
with the not even just go not the 155, taking a guy like Poirier at 155
like
took his confidence out of it.
Changing your body and getting hit like that by a big guy who's got serious power. There's no telling if Max doesn't do that and he stays at 145 and he fights Volkanovski without all that. Who knows? I don't know. I feel like that was a career changing move for Max fighting Dustin Poirier.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right on that one.
Poirier changing lives, man. Like Dubrov's gonna choke Hooker out quick.
Especially a guy that's 145 pounds. I mean, a legit 145er. That wasn't smart at all.
No.
Guys like Max are generally fighters that they'll throw as long as they can throw, and they'll take as much as they can take. And then once they can't, they typically can't. I mean, the only guy I can think of in modern MMA who's really been able to do that and actually come back with resilience is Justin Gaethje, who has actually lost fights going toe-to-toe and then came back and looks just as good as he did. But he's basically the only guy.
Doesn't have that power, though.
I mean, Robbie Lawler was kind of like that, but once he kind of fell off, like once he was kind of beaten, it's obviously he was older, but it's been kind of like that. Max doesn't have that. I think it's a lot of it's confidence. When you're the guy and you're like, I can take anything and I can throw anything, and nobody can beat me. You fight. Your mindset's different. Your confidence is different, and your results end up being different. But he's not that. He's not that guy anymore. He's had his number taken by Dustin. He had his number clearly taken by Volkanovski, and there's no reason to believe that it's going to be different. There really is no reason.
He's also a slow starter too.
That's true.
Which doesn't help.
And Volkanovski's proven he can go 5 rounds already with him. There's no reason. Why would you take the guy who's basically has less wear and tear on his body, who's already shown you that he's got your number, and now you're going to flip and say the other guy's going to be able to beat him because he had he was a champion at one point? That result in that scenario almost never happens. So Volkanovski wins. He's one piece of our 2-leg Tout Scud Missile Parlay, which we'll finish up on the main event. Main event, Kamaru Usman taking on
Marty. Call him by his real name.
Marty taking on on short notice, taking on Jorge Masvidal. Took this fight on, what is it, 6 days notice? 7 maybe?
Something like
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Guess it doesn't matter. Wes, let's have you start off the main event, 5-rounder.
Yeah, I mean, first off, it's still what a hell of a fight though that we still get, man, on 6 or 7 days notice. This is a legit fight. But look, I'll put it like this. I've read some stuff, and we all know how Usman's been about Usman fighting anybody on kind of short notice or anything like that. Usman jumped at this fight. Like these guys have trained together and shit. Usman jumped at this fight. 6 days notice, didn't give a shit. That should really tell you something, man. Usman knows he's gonna just absolutely fucking wreck over Jorge here, man. Look, I've been a long time Jorge fan. He's made me some money. I think he's kind of jumping the shark now, though. He's more the mainstream fan base getting on him, which is kind of like, but this is a horrible matchup for Jorge. I mean, Brad had talked about he's got a better memory than me, but he can go back and start naming the fights of Jorge early in the UFC when he got there. And the dude was getting dropped by fucking just marginal guys and barely
rusty cables.
I mean, and look, and he's like, he did the interview and says like, look, I had to change and, my career was going down. I had to just start going for it and shit. Yeah, it's all well and good. And he did a little bit, but I mean, Usman's not going to go out there and walk into a flying knee. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to happen. He's not pulling that shit. Usman's he is better everywhere. He's a better striker at this point, probably than Jorge. He's going to do whatever.
No,
it's closer. He can sit on the feet and pop shots with Jorge now. He's not that bad. but we know what's going to happen. He's going to fucking maul Jorge. He's going right to the cage, and he's going to maul Jorge here. Usman all day here for me. I think this is I'm kind of surprised at the line. We might have mentioned it earlier before we started recording. Like, I think Dave Mason at Bet Online said that 80-something% of the bets were on Jorge.
91%.
That's good.
91% that it was like McGregor type spreads on Jorge. And I'm like, that is how you can continue to make money on MMA. If you're getting Usman under 2-1 in this fight, that is fucking a gift of all gifts. I have Usman huge with Volkanovski, and then I also have him with Jan a little bit, and I'll probably look at the points and maybe even inside the distance here. I think he's going to maul Jorge.
Nushan, is this a gift of all gifts? Is that going to be should that be the name of the show? UFC 250 whatever, the gift of all gifts?
I don't know. I don't.
No,
like
that's Wes's post-fight rant. If he
UFC
doesn't fall asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
Woof. Woof City.
I think the first round could be close. Masvidal could stuff some takedowns. I still think Usman, if he doesn't get the takedown, will wear on him on the fence. Like, he's a natural 170er. Masvidal is kind of a blown up 155er. After
He's
that,
eating pizza. He's eating pizza on the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I
dude.
think Usman's just going to wear on him. There could be some striking exchanges, but I think Usman's good enough on the feet that he doesn't get laid out slick like Till got. I think this is going to be lots of takedowns, lots of grinding. He's going to get tired. Usman's got an unreal gas tank. The pace of that Covington fight was unbelievable. So I like Usman here. I laid it at -220 to win 3 units. I also took him in round 4, 5 or a decision at -105 for a unit, and I played him by decision for half a unit at +187. This is going to be one-way traffic.
All right. And Bradford?
Yeah, this, like, we've got 15 years of evidence that Jorge Masvidal is not an elite fighter. Like, this guy, I even forgot about this one because it was so far back. But this guy lost to Rafael Assunção at one point in his career. Like, lost to him. He got slept by Rodrigo Dam,
Wow.
who has absolutely
No striking.
That's bad.
I'm not sure if you guys remember the greatest submission in Bellator history,
Yes.
Toby Yamada.
Yep.
That was Jorge Masvidal who was getting submitted in that fight. What else do we have? Gilbert Melendez boxed him up for 5 rounds. Paul Daly out-wrestled him. There was that one where he got out-wrestled by Paul Daly.
That's tough to do.
What else? Dropped by Michael Chiesa. Who else has he been dropped by? Didn't he get dropped? Like, he sort of got dropped by Benson Henderson. Like, we've just seen so much of Masvidal. He has moments in fights, no doubt, and he's got skill. He's a fun striker to watch when he actually throws punches. He hates throwing punches, so there's that. But a guy like Usman that's going to come forward and just put pressure on him for 25 minutes or however long this lasts is just going to blow up Jorge Masvidal's shit. I don't think this is going to be a close fight. This isn't going to be Jorge Masvidal running out and throwing a flying knee.
Oh my God.
I don't know where
Our
this
boy
Steve comes up with
So
some of this
yeah,
stuff.
I just don't
know.
think this is going to be a close fight. This is a very good welterweight, an elite welterweight fighting like a pretty good blown up lightweight in this fight. So I've got Usman in a bunch of stuff. When the points comes out, I'm probably going to have Usman points as well. But I think this is one-way traffic.
I got nothing.
No.
This is too good.
All right,
Steve's comment
comes
was,
out with having
"Who's gonna walk and dress up like this, UFC, and gang kneeling for BM
when that was in the African guard.
with the kente cloth?" Yeah.
Yeah.
The Desert Moses is gonna walk all over Jorge Masvidal in this fight.
Wait, so you team Desert Moses?
I don't like him. I'll go
So
quick.
you're betting him?
For
Don't
the
lie.
record,
Don't lie.
I'm not betting him. For the record, 2 hours too long for this podcast. We got to do better next week.
We had fun.
Yeah.
Lance,
Well,
tired.
next week we got 2
10 o'clock
cards
Central
and a recap. We got to pick up our pace.
Damn, yeah.
Usman,
But-
obviously Usman, obviously the likely winner here with his wrestling. He is not the better striker than Masvidal. That was, but I think he wins. I definitely think he wins here. I think he pushed him against the cage. He works in takedowns. He does what he does. But I'm not betting this fight because I hate Marty Usman. I don't like anything about him. I don't like anything about this guy. So I'm just gonna sit it out and root for Masvidal.
That's fine. But
Lance hating on wrestlers.
Lance is leaving
just
money on the
weird.
table because
He
Usman's
hates
gonna
wrestling
maul
so
him.
much.
Not D1 doesn't count.
he's gonna maul him. I didn't talk about his wrestling credentials. He's gonna maul him. He's gonna maul him. He's done it with pretty much almost every fighter we faced. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be. It's simple as that. And when there are moments on the feet, I don't think Masvidal has that kind of power. I don't.
Masvidal can't throw enough punches to outstrike Usman on the feet. Like straight up.
That's a more fair take than he's the better striker.
But
Yeah,
at the
I mean,
same time, how much of this
Technique wise, yeah. I mean, Masvidal's been doing it for 15 fucking years.
Brad,
You know
how
what I'm saying?
assuming this fight goes 25 minutes, how many minutes of this fight actually end up on the feet?
I think Usman will wall install him a bit to wear on him.
25 minutes. I would say we get like 12 on the feet.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Kobe like box for 25 minutes and shit.
Yeah,
Colby can wrestle.
Colby took 2 rounds
very
boxing
true.
Usman's face off. Usman just got lucky at the end of that fight. I seen the cards.
Oh, those are
Kobe
some bad cards.
boxed his face off for 2 rounds. Stop ducking him.
Here's your DFS advice. Put Usman in at 8,900.
Yeah, don't play DFS unless you're a nerd. There's your advice.
Oh,
Somebody's already got every single combination, has already played it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless you
that's
can
why
play
it's stupid.
150 lineups. Don't even do it.
Fantasy would be better if you could play like one lineup.
Yeah,
But then it's
One,
like
yeah.
like you look at those like super nerds. They're like, oh, I won money. I
got
spent
27 accounts too.
Yeah,
so.
I made 78 lineups and spent $8,000, and I made 82. I'm the best.
That ROI.
I want a trip to Miami. It only cost me 10 grand.
Yeah, it cost me $17,000, but I won it. Free trip.
Free housing here.
Yeah.
It's like when you were a
man.
kid and you played those machines where you could win prizes. It's like, oh my god, I got a free
Right.
stuffed
How much
animal
did you put into it? Yeah.
for $19.25. It was
$30.
free.
Yeah.
yeah. It was.
My kid really wanted that bear, you know.
Yeah, we might
On
have
the
one
rare
show next
occasions
week.
I do play DFS, I make sure I only
Loser.
play the single
Steve
entry
said-
contest.
Yes,
He said you're in a hurry. You got.
I
some
am in a
spoons.
hurry. I need to relax and
said you got
unwind.
some-
This is what you.
You
This is what
gotta-
you come on here for. Shame
You got
on
to
you.
polish
Not
those
aligning with
spoons,
it.
dog.
2 hours is too long for me. I cannot remain this focused.
That's fair. Next week we're gonna have to do.
It's
a
going to be
Monday
2
card,
hours
probably.
next week for sure. We got a recap and 2
Or
breakdowns.
we might have to
I'll be
do
ready.
2 cards to split it up
Yeah.
so it doesn't take
Man,
2 fucking
yeah.
hours.
What is next week's
No.
card? Is it a Thursday? I think
It's
I
a
saw something-
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I read Thursday.
Yeah, we've got the Qatar and
Thursday in-
Inch.
Yeah, Thursday. in
Oh,
Abu Dhabi.
Thursday there, Wednesday in the U.S.
We'll
Yeah.
just go right into it and just do a quick recap and then break down the cards.
Yeah, we know how
Yeah.
that goes. We'll
Steve,
see.
we hope you appreciate that. Everyone else, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, we'll see who gets to choose whose name between Brad and I, and we'll get some winning bets.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, did we say that Usman was the parlay piece, Nushan?
Yeah.
No one cares about your
Parlay,
Touty
tout
McTatterson
special.
stuff.
Screw you, it's the winner. Enjoy the fights.
Beauty.